This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Okay, so today, I just got off work a little bit ago, and we're sitting at about end of the first week in January. I talked the other day about feeding dry sugar, emergency feed to my bees, and we found that one nucleus colony that was a bit light. So I'm going to go through all the hives today, and I'm just going to do a quick lift on the back of each one, just kind of see how heavy they are. That's what I do. I don't know, about every couple weeks I'll go through, just see how we're doing on feed, if we're heavy enough. You see down here, what we have is we have cold mornings. Like this morning it was 38. Yesterday or day before it stayed in the 50s during the day, but then today it's up to 76. So what happens is bees go flying, and there's very little out there blooming. I mean, we have a little bit of that wild aster, I guess it's wild mustard, a few things blooming, and they can hit some feed on that, but it's not enough to sustain a hive. So they'll cluster up and eat their stores, go out looking for stores, burn energy, and then they need more stores, and they can't get them. So it's kind of unique down here, where up north they go in and they cluster up for a few months in some cases, depending on how far up north these guys are. Let me go over here by these hives, set this stuff down. So anyway, they don't fly. Their challenge up there is being sure they have plenty of feed. They probably have to have 60 pounds of feed up there. They got a big challenge up there, and they have to keep snow off the fronts of the hives, so when they do get a warm day, because they say 50 degrees is what it takes for bees to fly, but look, they'll fly when it's cooler than that. I've seen the videos of some of the guys up there, and they have to go out on cleansing flights, and so if it's blocked with snow, they just got a lot of different challenges. But we have snow too, not very often, but we have had snow on these hives, but nothing like they have. There's a fella I follow up there. He doesn't post too many videos much anymore, but man, he's got a season. I bet he doesn't have a 3 or 4 month window for honey production and all of that. His name is Scott Hendricks, I think is his YouTube channel. But yeah, he does a few videos here and there, and I tell you, he has snow piled in his hives in April. So it's a challenge up there. So down here it's not as much of a challenge, but we do have to watch our feed as well, because they'll go out and burn all this energy and won't bring anything back in, and shoot, then they're out, and before you know it, you've starved them in March when you think you've gotten through winter. So what I'll do is I'll go through, and it's gonna be a quick day. Just gonna go through, pick up each little hive on the back and show you what to do, and we'll know if we've got good stores in them. I look for about, at this time of year, probably at least 30 pounds. That's what I want the hive to feel. And obviously the 5-frame nucleus colonies are going to be a lot lighter, and the single deeps are going to be. But the double deeps, I want those things to weigh pretty good. And you can feel, what I do is I imagine what it feels like to tip a light hive, and as I feel it, I'll know it's heavy. And see that smoke? I always bring a smoker with me. You never know if you're going to go in a hive for some reason. Always have smoke. That's what I've learned. But yeah, so anyway, I want them to be good and heavy. The other ones, I'll judge it. And you can feel a hive. When it's light, man, you almost flip it off of the front of the stand. So that's our goal today, really quick. Just want to shoot a video. I want to keep everybody up to date as we go through 2020 and how I, make sure I wasn't burning that, how I keep bees and what I do down here in South Louisiana. Alrighty, let's get going. Okay, I went ahead and threw a veil on real quick. Take a look at this hive that we put the sugar on the other day, just to give you an idea of what these guys do when these bees do whenever you put sugar on and when they need some stores. You know, they don't actually eat dry sugar. They don't process it, but the condensation in the hive, I think I told you before, it gets up on there, begins to melt the sugar down, the sugar water basically when it's dripping at this point, and they consume that. But they also get in there and they chew away at it. I don't know exactly what they do, because I know they don't consume it dry. I don't know, because they have tongues that they bring nectar in with, and I'm not sure exactly how they consume this sugar but you'll see they eat through it. And I guess maybe they gnaw it up and process it somehow. I'm not sure, but there's many different people who tell you different things, but I don't have the answer, and I haven't had the answer. I just know it works, and that's what we do. Be something I need to look up, I guess. All right, let's take a look inside real quick and see what we got. So there you go. Now you can see the moisture on the paper. If you can see through the smoke, let me move that. So they have, I don't know what kind of amount we put on there. And one bee tried to pop me in the arm just then. But you can see the sugar is almost gone. Matter of fact, I think I need to go ahead and put some more on. They've literally went through it all. So down here, and this hive has a vent. There's a vent hole. I don't know if you can see it going kind of sideways here. There's a vent hole right there. They have a vent, so the condensation, it has a chance to dissipate. And you can see them. They got it on their face. That one just flew off with it. But yeah, they consume that right down. And it's, let's see if it's still, let's give them a little puff here. If I stick my finger in there, stick your finger in there. Alright, but see, it's a little soft underneath, but there's a crust over it. Well, just drop that down in the hive for them. So yeah, there you go. They pretty much consumed that, and that was probably a pound of sugar. And put that on last week. Of course, he didn't move the. He didn't off the top of the beetle baffle or the beetle blaster. Pull that out. But like I said in the other video, time will tell as to whether they make it or not. But we've definitely given them food, so. Alright, well, let's get them closed back up. It's just about time for them to be in for the night. The temperature's beginning to drop. So yeah. Alright, so there you go. They needed to feed. Alright, okay, so we're wrapped up. Simple as that. I do have one other hive next door. I'll probably go grab the back of it real quick. But that's all I did today. Those are little tasks right there. Those are things you don't hear a lot about, but they're part of beekeeping. What other tasks do I do in winter? Because this is your slow time. This is your time to get everything done you can. I think I told a lot about building boxes. I got to build some boxes. Not regular boxes, some 5 frames. I got to build 5 or 6 of those just to have them around. I got some plans for those. I got some more frames when I went to Florida last week. Some more medium honey boxes. He doesn't use those. He's getting away from them. We said in that last video. So those are right there. Those 8 need to be cleaned up. I'm sorry about the camera shaking, but need to clean those 8 up and scrape some frames, clean some frames, cull them to see what we don't need and what's no good. Build boxes, clean and scrape the rest of those, wax a few more foundations. That's really about it. Got to reinforce. I have these stands I use that I'll show when I set up swarm traps. I need to reinforce those. I made some stands last year, and they worked fine, but they bowed a little bit, so I'm gonna put some strips of 1x on them. That'll fix those. Other things you do is you buy your new equipment, stock up on your new stuff. I got some new gloves, things like that. I always get a pair of gloves each year because I go through gloves pretty quick. What else? Just little things like that. Those are the things I do. Because like I said in the other video, I want to be ready. I learned, it's probably my first year wasn't like that because I had just a hive, and I was experimenting and going one step at a time. Wasn't ready to go catch swarms or anything. But that second year, wow, people calling for swarms. Now if they know you have bees, they call you. You run in for swarms. You don't have equipment. Your bees swarm after a while. Once you get up above 10 hives, you're going to have bees swarming that you don't catch in time, as far as preparing them. So those are all the little tasks. You just want to be ready in March. Really, we're going to start hanging swarm traps first week of February. Got to do some box reversals end of this month, and then we're going to, I'm thinking begin splits second week of March. So that's when things get busy. Then it's nonstop for me anyway. I've caught up this year. I'm happy about that. But I'll probably build my boxes. If it doesn't get rained out this weekend, I'll begin building my box. I want to build an observation hive. And anything you got to do to expand, that's when you want to do during the winter. So that's about all I can think of for now. Anyway, we're going to call that an evening. Hope you enjoyed it. Not much to it, but again, just one of those things you want to do. That one hive you saw, it needed some sugar again, so I'll probably put that on next week, and I may video that because I've found another hive I think is a little bit light. Out of all those hives, if I didn't know any better, I'd say they got heavier. Where's that goat? I'd say they got heavier. Maybe they're pulling some kind of nectar somewhere. We usually don't have any this time of year, but they sure enough, they seemed heavier than when I weighed them back in November. So hey, that's promising. I like heavy hives. Got 2 in Livingston. I'll document that. I need to go get those picked up and brought back here. I'm gonna check that one there. But one of those hives, all that to say, one of those hives actually was a little bit light, so I'll probably put some sugar on it too. And so as heavy as they are, I probably won't check them again until well, when I do box reversals and when I do when I get about part of the way through February. So right now they're looking good, and I'll explain box reversals as I go into it, what we do. It's something we do in our club here, and how we do our splits that we've been taught by our mentor to some, instructor to others. Mr. Ed, he does them. You guys should know Mr. Ed. A lot of you should know him, but it's just the way we do it here. Vertical splits is what we call it, with double screen boards. So I'll do some like that, and I'll do some of the other methods. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna put everything away, get in and get me some supper. So I was talking about what flow we had, those hives possibly being heavier. I forgot, red maples bloom in December and January, and silver maples, which aren't common down here, but my neighbor has 2, so I went next door, took a look, and sure enough, one of them's finishing blooming and the other one has already bloomed. So who knows, maybe they loaded up on some of that, or the red maples in the woods, because those grow wild. So anyway, maybe that's why they got heavier, because they are. I went next door and checked that hive really quick, and they are heavier. They are definitely heavier, so that's a good sign. I like that. So I have one light hive, and I would imagine the ones in Livingston are heavy as well. So alrighty, good news. Always good news when the bees are doing good. Well, everybody have a good evening. Hope you liked the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to follow this whole year through beekeeping. So if you subscribe and then hit the notification button, we'll be able to notify you every time a video gets uploaded. And as we get into spring, hopefully I can keep up and we can get them uploaded a little more often. Alrighty, have a great evening. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees.